Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our Soul, Mind, Body series. We're going to have a great conversation today with Kathleen McTighe, a Creatio missionary. But first, just introduce myself. My name is Anya Semenoff Petty. I am the ministry coordinator at Our Lady of Lourdes, and just happy that you can join us today. So, Kathleen, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So, as I said, you're a missionary with Creatio, but can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, and what that means? What does your job entail?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Maryland, the DC area, and I came out here actually a year ago today for
Oh,
training. So
wow.
I've been with Creatio a year now
Wonderful.
as a missionary guide, and so I plan and guide different trips that we do throughout the year, pilgrimages, outdoor adventures, mission trips. Um, Yeah, and so throughout the year, we're doing a lot of planning, and then we lead those trips, and we also like to just kind of build up the local community here in Denver, doing just some local trips and clinics and small groups and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Um, Before we dive a little bit more into Creatio and its mission, tell us a little bit like how is your experience of this pandemic, this time of self quarantining and all this? How has that been
Yeah,
for you?
yeah. So I actually I moved in for the quarantine with one of my coworkers, Mary, because we as missionaries all live in different houses, and so I moved in with her just so we could work from home together.
Yeah.
And it's actually been a really big blessing just getting to spend that time with her and of some of her roommates. And yeah, there's definitely been weeks where it's like, this is not the best time of my life. And
Yeah.
then there are other days and weeks that it's like, this is actually pretty good.
Totally.
So it's been pretty good overall. So yeah,
Yeah, I
how's it been
totally.
for you?
Pretty much the same. It goes in
Yeah,
waves. Like I was pretty much working exclusively from home, much like everyone basically,
yeah,
for a good probably almost 2 months. As with others, it started to open up a little more, so I'm going back into the office. But exactly what you said. There were weeks where we were very fortunate. Neither myself nor my husband or immediate family members have gotten sick thus far. So praise God.
yeah,
So our experience has really just been like adjusting to being at home all the time, which is good and
yeah,
bad weeks. But yeah, we've been pretty blessed overall. So it's
yeah. That was good.
good. Awesome. So Creatio, tell us a little bit about what what that is. What is your mission there?
Yeah, so Creatio is a Catholic nonprofit based here in Denver. And basically, we just want to bring young adults back to Christ and His church through beauty of creation. And so we do this in a couple of different ways. One is service to the poor, one is outdoor adventure, and another way is caring for creation, so this environmental stewardship aspect. And so, yeah, we lead and guide a lot of different experiences, like I mentioned before. Um, yeah, just trying to bring people closer to Christ.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Um, so that mission, as you say, encounter through beauty of creation, service through service to the poor, outdoor adventure, and care of creation. What are ways in each of these areas that people can kind of live this out, particularly during this weird time? It's a little bit harder just to go out. So yeah, how
Yeah,
do people approach that now?
yeah, we've been just like getting creative with it, especially in this time. We kind of thought that this was going to be like our trip heavy season, and now it's not. And so it's like, okay, we're here in Denver. What can we do while we're here? I think
Yeah,
that's been a big thing that I've really been thinking about and praying with. And I think, when we hear service to the poor, I think we have a tendency to think about the physically poor
mm,
and financially. And I think a big part of our mission is the spiritually poor.
mm,
And just with this pandemic, I think a lot of people have been suffering in different ways. And it's, I think, a really good opportunity to just walk with people and call people and, yeah, just spend time with the people that you're with and serve them. Um, and then I think with just outdoor adventure, I know we had the restrictions in Colorado. And so there was one time where Mary and I, my roommate, we camped in the backyard,
Nice.
just to, like get outside of the house for a little
Yeah,
bit. Um, and it was really good. We slept with the tent with the rain fly off and just could see like the few stars that you can see in Denver.
right.
But it was just still really great. And I think just doing things like that, and then I would go out for a run around the sunset time, and I would go. I found this one spot that the sunset is just beautiful. The
Awesome.
view. It's actually over the highway,
Oh,
but you can see the mountains behind the highway. And yeah, I think just like little moments like that, finding the beauty that is all around us. You don't have to go like way deep into the mountains to find beauty. It's everywhere.
yeah,
The flowers in the neighborhood, whatever it is. And then also just I think finding silence in your day is really great.
right.
Um, Going on a walk or whatever you can do to find that silence. And then I think with caring for creation, just like researching and learning new skills, we like started researching more about composting and started composting. So I think there are just little ways that you can just like grow and better yourself in your knowledge and in your actions of caring for the environment.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And especially while staying close to home, like I think we all think like missionary, that title,
Right.
and that call to mission of, like you're saying, like service to the poor, like typically the physically or financially poor is what we immediately think of. Being a missionary of some kind is like leaving, distancing from your house in a sense, and really going out there to serve. But that there are so many opportunities. I think that's just been made very evident in so many ways of like there are people right down the street, in
Yeah.
your neighborhood, your own neighbors, like who you can serve and help and do all these things even now. So
Yeah.
kind of along those
Exactly.
lines, like what kind of encouragement, and you've kind of touched on this, but like what kind of encouragement do you have for people in those sorts of three areas um, during this time? Like if they're feeling like like, okay, that sounds great, but this is your job, Kathleen. Like what can I do,
Yeah.
as just a lay person?
Yeah. I think just being present. I think that's something I kind of learned throughout this pandemic was, yeah, I was called to be a Creatio missionary, and I thought that that meant going to all these different countries and serving in all these different places. And as soon as I was about to do that, this pandemic hit, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be in Denver for a while. That's where I am, and that's where God wanted me to be. He knew that this was going to come, and yet He still called me to this place. And He just wanted me to be in Denver longer than I thought I was going to be in Denver for, or like the amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that is something that really hit me during this was just this is where God wants you to be, and He's calling you to serve Him in whatever way you can. As Christians, we're all called to be missionaries, and so yeah, it's just he wants you to be missionaries to the people that are around you and that you are still able to connect with on a daily basis, even while this is all going on.
Yeah.
Um,
I really love that notion. And it's just a good reminder of so many of us were just very thrown off guard by this. Like, how could this
right.
happen? What is going on? But I love what you said about understanding like God knew this was coming and He still put you in the place He wants you. So just
Yeah.
really sit with
Yeah.
that, reflect and pray with that. That's can be very empowering, I think, which is a really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely kind of helped me just throughout this whole thing of quarantine and just knowing, well, this is like, I'm so sure this is where He wanted me to be. I'm not sure why, but it's where I am, and I'm going to make the best of it. So I think just having that mindset is really great.
That's awesome. And so in terms of Creatio's mission, then I know it's very hard to like project how long before you guys are going on your mission trip. Like of course, who can say?
Yeah.
But do you have some general sense of like kind of what's next for you guys? When are what are your hopes moving forward in the next at this point maybe 18 months? Who knows? But like,
Yeah.
what's it look like going
Yeah.
forward?
This has been an opportunity for us to be creative and try new things. And so, yeah, right now, we're not sure when international trips are going to start back up. We have a couple still on the table for late summer, early fall.
Mm,
So we'll kind of see how the next few weeks and months how it all pans out. But as for this summer, we're really excited because we're doing a lot of just local community experiences. And
Nice.
so I know at least the third Saturday of every month, we're doing a camping trip from a Friday to Sunday, and just bringing the community together and being able to climb some mountains and camp together and have good conversations. So we're really excited for that, and we're hoping that we can continue doing that into the fall and the future. And then, yeah, I know we've still been doing some virtual clinics. Like last night, I just did one on our Instagram. So we do one about once a month, just teaching a new skill for people. So hopefully that can start up in person when breweries start to open up and stuff.
What kind of skills do you teach?
We've done ones on like hiking in 4 different seasons. We've done one on backpacking, like how to backpack. Last night I talked about just the leave no trace principle, which is like the environmental principles when you're camping of dispose of waste properly. So I talked about how to properly poop in the woods. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
It reminds me of like REI always has those little clinics about a lot of the things you just discussed, but
Yeah.
I love it. You're like the Catholic kind of REI there.
Yeah. Trying.
I love it. Very cool. So to broaden the conversation a little and just to inspire people as we are allowed a little more and more to leave our homes, what are some of your favorite places to go for just a day hike around Denver? Like, do you have any recommendations for people?
Yeah. I know that at the beginning of the quarantine, just like the foothills hikes were really busy. And I think now as things are loosening up, we can go a little bit further. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of spots like within an hour, I'd say, that are really great. But if you do want to go closer, I know like Green Mountain and North Table and Beaver Brook, there's a lot of great stuff in the Golden area and Littleton and that area. But I think All Trails is also a really good resource to kind of, you can like you can search an area and then it'll tell you all the different trails in that area and the difficulty and people who've gone to them recently, and like tell you the trail conditions and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely encourage people to look into that and get outside.
Especially now that it's warm, it's summer.
Yes.
Very cool. Awesome. So kind of finally, and maybe you've kind of already spoken to this, but where during this pandemic has God really surprised you? What sort of fruits and graces have come up in your life?
Yeah.
Both in your job, but also personally.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I've just been able to grow so much in trust. And I think part of that is, like me talking about how realizing that God has called me here. And, I discerned it over a year ago now. And I can sit here and say, like, I still know that I was called here. But I think with so many unknown things of the future now, it's been just like a process of growing in trust in Him. And there's just been so many moments where He's like, I've provided so much for you. Why do you still not trust me? And I'm like, oh, right. So it's been really good. And then I think just for Creatio, it's just allowed us to like have conversations and be creative and just really, I think, grow together as a team, which has been really great. Even though we were all working from home, we were able to still communicate online. And now being back in the office, we're like having so many great conversations. And we're like, we're not sure if we would have had these if this hadn't happened. So I'm very thankful for that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's really inviting God in, as opposed to fighting against the circumstances. Which frankly is how my gut reaction is always like, nope, don't like this, I'm gonna push back. But that's a beautiful testimony to just invite God in and let Him do as He wills. That's beautiful.
Yeah, especially with just all the unknown from this.
Absolutely. Awesome, Kathleen. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about what you do. Where do people find you? Online? You mentioned Instagram. We'll be sure to link it, but where are the good places to find you?
Yeah, so creatio.org. So it's spelled just creation without the M, sorry, creatio.org. Yeah, you can find all of our experiences at creatio.org/experiences. So you can see all the summer stuff that we'll be doing this summer.
Great.
And then Facebook, just at Creatio. And then Instagram is at Creatio Missions.
Great.
Yeah, so we try to stay pretty active. A lot of our events are also on Facebook as well.
Awesome.
So
Perfect.
yeah.
And are those, I forgot to ask earlier, are those generally, like people can just register for them? Is that, they're just kind of
Yeah, so for this summer, we're able to provide like at cost trips. So people just paying for food and gas and just coming camping with us.
nice?
So we do have to have people register and limit the people just with the
Sure. Of
COVID
course.
restrictions and everything. But yeah, we're trying to create as many opportunities as we can.
Awesome. Very cool. Well,
Yeah.
it's definitely an encouragement to our Lourdes crowd to get out there. um, and yeah, join Creatio in this beautiful mission. Kathleen, thank you again. We really appreciate your
Yeah.
time, and hopefully we will see you in person at some point,
Yes.
some point soon. But until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and God bless.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.